My research will investigate the relationship between clear professional development or teacher preparation regarding instructional theory, teacher self-efficacy, and student achievement. And in the process of doing this, the theoretical frameworks that will be used will be the one of instructional theory, which is Jerome Bruner's work, in which he says that a theory of instruction takes into consideration specifically the factors that predispose a child to learn effectively, the optimal structure of the learning, the pacing of the learning, and the learning outcomes and the ability for autonomous assessment. A lot of this work with learning theory is based in his additional work in that of constructivism. Now, although you can't just go with constructivism and say Bruner is responsible for constructivist theory, we have to take another step back and back the lens out to include, of course, John Dewey and his real world practical application type theory of instruction. Um, you have to then, of course, look at Piaget and his ideas of stages of development in which learners actively construct their own knowledge out of the world around them. And then you would also have to take into consideration Vygotsky and his zone of proximal development. And in addition to that, then you come back to Jerome Bruner and you end up with his idea of spiral curriculum. The real goal here is to look at the importance of instructional theory or methodology in relationship to curriculum instruction. When we're dealing with curriculum instruction, so often we focus on curriculum, which is the how, and we completely ignore the what. Did I say that backwards? Yes, I did. We focus on the what, which is the curriculum, and we ignore the how, which is the methodology. Case in point, Fort Worth ISD's what do we call it? The curriculum frameworks. It deliberately leaves out much of the how. How do you actually deliver this instruction? They tell you what to do, what strategies to use, and they will tell you what, and particularly in literacy instruction, what letter to teach if it's first grade or what story to read if it's middle or high school. Yet, in terms of telling a person specifically how to structure that learning environment and that lesson and roll out that instruction so that the students are effectively learning, some of that is missing. It's also missing from our teacher preparation programs. The body of research shows that teacher preparation programs are lacking when it comes to giving teachers a clear path to deliver instruction. They learn learning theory, they learn curriculum, they learn classroom management, they learn any number of things, but there is no clear-cut method to teaching that is given to novice or pre-service teachers. That's the same to be true for alternative certification. So in a literature review that I did previously, I found all of this background knowledge, and this has informed me in coming to the conclusion that instructional theory and teacher effectiveness are connected. And so in addition to the idea that I would be doing a study where I looked for the connections between the quantitative data in student achievement and teacher efficacy and the qualitative data that talks about the teacher's perceptions and the student's perceptions of how the learning environment was altered with the addition of instructional theory, I'm also going back to the idea that quantitative and qualitative data complement each other.